Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby Koay, joined by SABRAW, and we are continuing on with Love, Death, and Robots. We're watching Fish Night, we're watching Helping Hand, and Alternate Histories, because we do 3 of these at a time. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you will see a cut-down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. But if you want to watch the whole thing with us, uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JabyKoay, or become a member of this channel in order to watch the whole show with us without any cuts or interruptions. But you will need your own Netflix subscription so you can open it up in an adjacent window to our reaction, and it's like you're watching it with 2 of your favorite pals from the internet. Now, if you're watching this on Patreon or memberships already, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up, please. And I was gonna close it out. I was just so eager to move on.
We're in this.
Yeah.
We're in this.
And vote this up, let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Here we go.
We're on a roll, you guys.
Now we got this kind of style.
Archer.
Looks a little like Borderlands.
I haven't seen that one.
That's a game.
Oh.
Yeah. It's an animation style for the game.
So, what do we do?
We can rest the night here.
Really?
Just before dawn, when the weather's cooler, we start walking.
Walking? All the way back to the last station? That's great.
Oh god, that sounds awful.
That's just fucking great!
That's a very resilient bottle.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's like got a lot of rage to be able to sustain that anger through several hours.
He doesn't have enough calories to exert.
Nights like this gets me wondering.
Well, there's no way you'd be able to appreciate it because there's no context.
Of them swimming around in the world.
Yeah, if you're a creature of that kind of world, like you're not thinking, oh, this is nice. Glad I don't have to do my taxes. Like,
unless you're Starro the Destroyer. Remember?
oh, I guess they're underwater.
Oh.
Whoa. Do you know there's jellyfish that live forever?
Forever?
No. They just regress back to their baby state when they get too old. It's a legit thing. I don't. I think jellyfish exist solely off instinct, though, so it's not like they can appreciate the situation.
Yeah. Of eternity.
Is that the Loch Ness Monster? Ogopogo.
Ghosts of an older world. Did you see that? I can feel them.
Hey, hold on a second, boy.
Wait.
Oh, what?
No. You're gonna need those to walk.
Don't be crazy!
I want to swim!
What is happening?
Hey, come back down here.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, must have been really cool back then. Not a care in the world except survival.
Goddamn fool! Look out! Behind you!
Well, it's a wrap for him. How you gonna explain that one? So I was in the desert, and the ghosts of animals showed up. I swear to you, I didn't bury him.
Oh my.
A giant shark showed up and ate him. Is that the end of it?
Oh.
What are you supposed to do with that?
What?
I don't know if that one had any I guess the meaning there is exactly what I just mentioned, which is we have this sort of fantasy. We imagine that it must have been great when there's no technology, no industrialization, not modern at all, just when it was just nature. And then you watch something, a period piece of some kind, where someone gets hurt real bad or they got to deliver a baby, and you realize, oh, modern science is pretty cool because there's a lot of stuff that they have today that they did not have back then that makes it so much more manageable than it used to be. The awful things that we had to go through because we didn't have modern science or whatever it is, and if you were a fish in the sea, you had to worry about your survival. I actually really like this one because what he was saying is something a lot of people have said. Must have been nice. Must be nice to just be, an animal free in the forest and whatever. It's like, yeah, but you are part of that pyramid now, and you have to worry about whether you're gonna eat or be eaten.
I agree, and I think it's the human entitleism where we go to nature and we think it's so beautiful, and it's not based in a malicious way, but we just want to be a part of it. Like you watch people walk up to hippos because they think they're cute, and then they get their head bit off.
Yeah.
Or like the people who walk up to a waterfall too far and fall in and die. And it happens every day when you go to like Yosemite or different places because people just don't know how to act. We don't know how to act.
The way we look at these things is sort of with this ethereal lens, right? And we look at it through the lens of fantasy, and we don't take into consideration the real consequences that come with that. The people going up to the top of Mount Everest, you go up, there's a lot of dead bodies because people couldn't make it back. You get stuck up there because there's so many people doing it, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing cool about that. You watch 127 hours. It's like, that's what happens. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. There's a reason why we have clustered together into these things we call society. The reason why we do it is for our safety. And so people try to venture out of that because they get too comfortable. They're like, oh, it's nice out there. I wanna be one with nature. And then you get eaten by a mountain lion. It's like, yeah, see? You got to be careful.
Also had some Icarus vibes, flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, that's true.
Got up there.
Yeah, you can't get carried away. But like the last thing I was thinking about was like, how do you explain this to somebody?
Not looking good for Pops.
Yeah, exactly.
Car died, no body.
Yeah, exactly. No body anyway. It's one thing to be fascinated with nature and to observe it and admire it and respect it, but you do need to respect it. And you try to become part of it, you forget where you are in the chain of things, you will get eaten. Like, I was watching a video just the other day that was viral on YouTube, and it was this guy who got too close to an orangutan.
Oh.
And you saw that one?
No.
Okay.
But they're so cute.
So this guy was like, I think he had his arms out like that, trying to signal to the orangutan for some reason. It grabbed his t-shirt and was not letting go, and the guy was freaking out trying to get him off, and the guy's friend came in to try to slap the orangutan. And the orangutan's like, just fuck off. Like, I'm about to eat this person. And so the orangutan grabbed his foot and was about to bite it. And just narrowly, the guy managed to get his foot out just in time. Thankfully, he managed to get away from it. It's like, why are you messing with this animal?
Yes, let them be in peace.
Like, what is your problem?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan talked about how, I don't know if it was true. There was this cage around a tiger. And this kid, maybe 15 years old, was taking garbage or something and kept chucking it at the tiger. And making the tiger feel incensed. There was no top to this cage. It was just a perimeter. The tiger got pissed off, jumped over, and then just barreled after the kid and ate him. What do you think is gonna happen when you're messing with
the kid with Harambe, right? Didn't he just want to go with the gorilla?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, you never heard about Harambe?
I know the name, but I don't know the story.
Yeah, I think what happened, correct me if I'm wrong, that this kid just jumped the rail to be closer to the gorilla, and then the gorilla, it's a gorilla.
Yeah.
It's a predator.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. But
oh man,
then they killed Harambe. I'm like, Harambe wasn't doing anything.
The stupid kid's
yeah,
fault.
Stupid. Right.
Why would you do that?
I know.
But yeah, that's what that says to me.
Yeah.
It's like we have this sort of fascination with everything, and we don't realize just how dangerous these creatures can be. They had to be for their survival. If that's CG, that looks really good.
Really cool.
I mean, obviously Netflix doesn't have the budget to put stuff in space, but that looks really good.
After all those cuts, maybe.
Anthem. I'm on station at satellite LV426.
Copy.
I thought maybe it could have been a practical effect.
EVA.
Hey, you be careful out there, Alex.
I find that hitting technology rarely fixes it.
And if you have to do that in space.
Yeah, I know, right? You get comfortable after a while. You're like, that door even is like not cooperative.
Locate panel, sync and navigate.
Oh. Wow.
Are you freaking out?
Yeah.
You have a fear of heights?
No, but that just feels reckless.
No, it's what space people do.
No string
Spacemen.
attached?
No string attached. Well, I mean, you could, but they have the thrusters, the air thrusters. She's firing off like little things.
Oh, like
in her hands.
Rocketeer?
Yeah, like rocket. Yeah, exactly. In space, you just need a little tiny, push.
Okay.
So really, you don't have to use it more than the one time. But if you're impatient, I guess you'll. Oh, that's like a bullet.
Oh no.
Doesn't take much.
God damn it! Damn it!
What are you gonna do?
Anthem, this is Jockey Mother. Alex.
What the hell's going on out there?
I'm fucked. Impact on my mobility unit. It went non-functional. The backup's damaged as well.
That's interesting. I was actually wondering, is there a backup?
Chilling is 14.
Listen, Bill.
Yeah, there's a lot of trash in space. It's pretty dangerous up there.
Yeah, no thank you.
It does make me wonder because they're trying to create like luxury things where, like trips that rich people can take. And it does make me wonder, what are you gonna do about all the debris that's up there that's flying around like bullets?
Yeah.
You know? What? Is she gonna create a little hole?
She's gonna burn off her.
Oh, at least she's not that far away. What are you gonna do? Oh no!
No.
Oh no! Oh god! Oh wow!
Oh.
It's like some 127 hours type shit, man.
This is crazy.
All right, now I gotta chuck your arm.
Oh my.
Last shot. Really? That's what you're gonna okay.
Funny you should ask. But I got things under control. Just got a few beers chilling, Bill.
I'll be home soon.
Yeah, no thank you.
Wow.
They're pushing for like a space resort type stuff where, you know, wealthy can go up into space and have like hotels up there and stuff like that. But I'm like, what if though? You know, I think that did a really good job, especially when you compare that to something like the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. It's like, I've heard scientists talk about that film because it was aiming to try to be more realistic, but stuff happens in that film that's like very fantastical. This kept it within, I feel like, the parameters of reality more. because it's frightening up there, and you don't really think about the consequences of space when a mistake happens, when something goes wrong. And the fact that there's stuff up there just floating around that could really cause serious damage. At one point, we had a good hold on it, a good measure of like how much space debris was, just circling the globe. It was about 7,500 pieces. And I think there was like an effort to kind of clean it up. And then China, for whatever reason, decided to smash 2 satellites together just to see what'll happen. And that ballooned from 7,500 to approximately 20,000 space pieces.
God.
If I'm not mistaken, you guys correct me if I'm wrong about this, I think India did something similar, and it ballooned the size up even more. And so it's like we're having a hard time keeping up with all that. That's why when you watch WALL-E, when WALL-E gets on the spaceship and it leaves space, it blows through a bunch of space junk. Because there's just a lot up there.
Yeah,
I
didn't know. We've polluted everything.
Yeah. Eventually, we'll have our own Saturn ring made by us, basically.
Of trash.
Of trash, yeah. It's so beautiful from far away.
Yeah, I love the human will to survive is always incredible to me. Whenever you watch any documentaries where people had a boulder on them and they were able to push it off, just like by fight or flight kicking in.
Yeah, sheer will and adrenaline.
Yeah, it's incredible what humans are capable of. Her mindset, like the moment that you lose hope, she was useless. But then when you are in mode of, okay, let me try to find a solution, there is usually some sort of solution, but causes sacrifice.
There's always a way forward, usually. No,
Helping Hand.
Yeah.
Good title.
Yeah, there's usually always a way forward. I can be quite stubborn about that myself, where I'm like, there has to be a solution here. I just haven't figured it out yet. If I just think long enough about it, there's got to be a solution. And I think I've been stumped once in my entire life where I was like, no solution here, this is fucked. But like generally speaking, there's usually a solution. I don't even know if it's worth getting into. I was trying to basically turn in my iMac to Apple. Totally the same, right?
Yeah.
Same level of urgency. I was trying to turn in my iMac to Apple, and I had it on its own custom stand. And what I was trying to do was turn it in so I can get some money back for the next computer I was buying. But Apple does everything proprietary, and there's like this little mouth inside of the back. I was trying to put it back on its original stand, and I ended up getting the mouth into the computer, and I couldn't get it back out. And I was trying with all the force of like just trying to get it out of the back of the machine. And I just couldn't for the life of me. And I was like, I guess I'll just give it back to Apple like this and hope for the fucking best.
And did it happen?
Initially, they didn't want to give me my money back. They're like, you broke it. I'm like, I didn't break. You all have the tool. You can open it up anyway. And so they wanted to give me zero money for a machine that was worth at least $3,000.
Yeah.
And eventually someone over there got smart and was like, okay, you deserve the money. And they gave it back to me so I can get my next computer.
It's all about who you talk to.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of that conversation happened without my involvement. I don't know like what happened on their side where they decided to give me my money back. But it was like one of the few instances where I was just like, I can't fix this. And I felt so disheartened, like I lose to this machine. Normally I'm able to overcome it and find like a strategy of some kind of tinkering way to fix it. Like that was the one instance where I couldn't. And like her being up there in space, it's like she just was resigned to the fact that she was gonna die. And she came up with like a solution that she knew was going to be a major sacrifice. She degloved herself all the way up to her arm. And I'm like, what are the consequences of that? Because there's so much radiation. The suit is supposed to protect you from radiation. I didn't even think about the wild temperature, extremes that you're gonna have to deal with up there. And so her arm froze really fast. I'm like, oh Lord, that's just nuts.
I know. I was like, are we gonna Last Jedi this? She's force pull herself back to the ship.
Exactly. I do wonder about how that works. I didn't even think about that. Like, I was like, if you could just have to throw something and that gives you the momentum to go the opposite direction, couldn't you just go, whew? I don't quite get the physics of it, but I'm sure there
is physics of it.
Yeah, I'm wondering from you guys in the comments, like if you could tell me how accurate that is, because I guess it's a little thrust. That's what I was talking about earlier, where she had these things. It's like just a little thrust, because in space there's no friction, and so a tiny thrust is going to put you in that direction forever, you know? Although she would just be, her dead body would probably have been circling the globe until re-entering.
Oh gosh.
But she would have burned up. It would have been the greatest way to go instead of being incinerated is a perfectly suitable word. But yeah, I mean, you're incinerated by Earth, you know?
No.
Cremated, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
So anyway, on to the next one.
Welcome to Multiversity, America's leading alternative history research app. Multiversity lets you modify any historical fact and witness virtual simulations of how history would change.
Oh, that's cool.
I know, that sounds dope.
Now, let's change the date. 6 alternate timelines are included on this welcome demo. We hope you enjoy. Death scenario number 1.
What a cool concept.
World War II delayed until 1948. Death scenario number 2.
They all deal with the same. Ew, nasty.
Death scenario number 3.
It's like a weird Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
What?
World War I quickly ends in 1915. Russia becomes sole superpower. Vladimir Putin, first real man on the moon, 1988. Death scenario number 4.
So random.
Killed by marathon fornication with 4 Viennese prostitutes.
Stop.
The prostitutes are all arrested, only to be revealed as libidinous travelers from a very sexy parallel dimension, who teach the Viennese their multidimensional ways of astro pleasure. Killed by a meteor strike square on the head. The meteor was a precursor to a massive asteroid cruising towards Earth. It makes impact a few hours later. Result, humanity wiped out along with 93% of all species. A society of rats rises. Glug news glug. First squid on the moon, 2,973,412. Death scenario number 6. Caught in the crossfire between time-traveling anti-Nazis sent back to kill him and time-traveling Nazis sent back to prevent his assassination. Hitler forgets the first rule of time travel. Never touch your doppelganger. Killed by space-time paradox. Result? Causality loop annihilates time and space and destroys all life in the universe. Oops, sorry about that. Thank you for choosing Multiverse.
I feel like we gotta go back and read that now.
Yeah.
Make history.
Lincoln shoots first.
I gotta go back and read that.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so, oh shit. Well, now you did it. Broke the damn computer. You probably didn't even do anything major, did you? But see, I'm the dreaded blue screen of death, and I pop up totally randomly most times for no good goddamn reason. You're probably sweating bullets right now, aren't you? I love it. So there are a couple of options you should try. Neither of which will work whatsoever, but shit, be my guest. Control delete, this will restart me, but everything you've done on me up to this point will be gone. Tough titties, but if you're into downloading weird online gifs, which you are, I'm guessing this isn't a terrible option, pervert. Don't control delete and get it on the phone with every computer repair guy in town, all of them. Give all of them a shot. It's fine, I'll wait. I ain't going anywhere. I can stay like this all day.
So true.
I personally would love a device where you could see alternate timelines in history. I think that'd be super cool to be able to examine that, because one little thing, I mean, it's a butterfly effect, right? Like one little thing, it changes so much. One of the things I find fascinating is, and this doesn't in any way condone anything terrible that's happened in history, right? But let's say you got rid of Hitler. You got rid of everything awful he did. There's a possibility that you and I wouldn't exist, because it changes everything. Because you have someone, let's say you have someone who would have otherwise died during those events. They fly to America, they bump into someone, that causes a ripple effect of action of some kind, to the point where your parents maybe made babies a day later. And now it's not you, but some other version of you that's a boy or so, you know what I mean? Like,
no, totally. Like in that specific scenario, my grandpa was stationed in Japan and met my grandmother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After World War II, right after World War II.
Yeah.
And then they moved to America. They would have never met.
Exactly. So it's just crazy to think about how one little thing can change everything. And these different scenarios of Hitler dying got a little bit crazy, and I had a hand. I was like, wait, where are we going? The Jello thing, like, because everything was like, it seemed like it could have been historically accurate because he was into art. I was like, was the Jello thing a real thing? Like, Is that something I just never read about?
Yeah. It gave me a flashback to some movie. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was Flubber. I'm not sure, where like they were encased in jello.
Yeah.
But it was some sort of deja vu. But even if we had this, it'd be great to learn from it. But we have history books and we refuse to learn from them. So the what if scenarios might drive people crazy. Like, what's that thing in Harry Potter where he goes to the mirror?
Time Turner. The mirror. I don't remember.
You know what I mean, though? And like you get caught in that, like the what if.
Yeah. I've heard, I don't know how accurate this is, and you guys who are history buffs can tell me if I'm wrong. I heard that because of what the Nazis did, the unfortunate thing that we got from that was a better understanding of the human body because of the experiments that they did.
Oh, yeah.
And so it actually had a weird accidental positive byproduct, which is we got a better understanding of that and move forward in medical science. But like, so you take away World War II and what the Nazis did, where would we be with medical science today? And how many lives does that save? It's a weird balancing of scales kind of thing with humanity and whatever. And it's like, there's no good answers, you know?
No.
So,
other than like everyone can unite under the fact that we all hate Hitler.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it is unifying in that sense. It's crazy when good things can come out of like the most horrific ever because, you know, millions and millions of people were just exterminated.
Yeah. I mean, when you burn down a forest, flowers bloom.
Yeah.
So
life
finds a way forward. It trips me out all the time to think about how if you change something heinous in history, something awful, you might not exist anymore. Like, that always messes with my head because it's like, oh, what if we went back in time and got rid of Hitler? Or what if we went back in time and got rid of Stalin or any one of these dictators? Or like we stopped the English from invading another country. Do we still exist?
Yeah.
Probably not. Everything changes. And so we would not exist to be mad about the thing that happened in history.
And on a micro level, all the bad things in our lives, if we took them away, the best things probably wouldn't be there.
I mean, that's a first world idea, I think. Sure.
No, but really, if you think about, like, this is like the Buddhist interpretation, like life is suffering. You can't have one without the other.
Sure.
A lot of the bad events, of course, I wish they didn't happen, but some learning points or moments in my life have happened because of that. Or else at least I have to choose to live like that.
Yeah.
Or else bad things just suck.
Yeah, that's true. No, I guess I wonder for people who've had bad things happen to them and they're just funked, and I'm pretty sure they're not thinking, well, good thing I went through that.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
It's like the most simplistic version of it, but it's like one of those things where you're like, do you choose to believe everything happens for a reason or not?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it has to be true, but what gets you through the day?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's lots of people who have had experiences where they're like, yeah, that was painful, but it got me over here. And you know, those are cool stories to celebrate, and it helps you persevere through tough moments in your own life because you're like, okay, this is like awful, but the other side is going to be dope. I remember a long time ago, there's a person who used to be a guest on my channel all the time. Her name is Rachel Great, and
it's a great name.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I met her on a commercial job years ago, and it was just after a terrible breakup I was going through. And she could see I was visibly sad. Like, I'm on set trying to socialize, and it's like she could see something was off with me, and we got to talking. And she's like, you don't know this now, but this is the best thing you've ever gone through. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then 5 months later, I hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And like, I didn't know that was gonna come. I didn't know that was what was in store for me, but like, she happened to be right.
Yeah.
It was very woo-woo of her to just throw that out there, but she happened to be right. And so anyway, cool. Let's conclude this video. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon, please, all notifications, and vote this up. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
STEPH SABRAW.
Peace out.